In the last lesson, we learnt how to create variables and store values in them. We used this to create a very simple timer that would count up as we played a game. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to retrieve values from variables and use them within our programming. On your screen, you'll see I have a very simple activity where a ball can be moved around the screen, controlled by the keyboard. Let's have a look at the code for this. As you can see, I have 4 main programming blocks. Each one senses for a key to be pressed and then moves the ball accordingly. The up arrow points the ball up and moves 10 steps. The down arrow points the ball down and moves 10 steps, and so on. This is working well, but say I decided that moving 10 steps each time was too much, as it meant the ball moved too quickly. To change this, I would have to change every single value. And if I change my mind again, I'd have to change them all again. Well, this would take a lot of time, so this is an ideal scenario for using a variable. I'm going to create a variable that will store the number of steps I would like the ball to move. Since this is to do with the speed of the ball, I will make sure my ball sprite is selected and then go to the Data tab. From here, I will click to Make a Variable. I'm going to name this Move Spaces. I now need to decide whether this variable should be for all sprites or just this sprite. In programming, we call these local variables or global variables, and there's a key difference. If we say this variable is for all sprites, we're making it a global variable. That means any sprite can save to this variable and access the information stored in this variable. Creating it for this sprite only, however, would make it a local variable, meaning that only the sprite it belongs to, in this case the ball, can access its information. Since the Move Spaces variable is going to be used by the ball only, I'm going to select this sprite only and make it a local variable. I'll then click OK to create the variable. Now we have our variable, we're ready to save information to it. I'd like to set the value of Move Spaces to 5 as soon as my program runs. To do this, I will drag a new When Green Flag is Clicked block into place and then drag and drop Set Move Spaces from the data menu. Now every time the program runs, the value of the Move Spaces variable is set to 0. To change this to 5, I'll just click and type 5 here. As you can see, when I run the program now, the value of Move Spaces is set to 5. So how do we actually use this variable? Well, anywhere a value is shown in a programming block can be replaced by the value of a variable. What this means is that instead of using a value that cannot change once the program is running, we can use the value of a variable. Whatever value that variable has at the point at which the code runs will be the value that is used. To do this, we will drag and drop the Move Spaces value block, replacing the 10 of the first Move 10 Steps block. Now when this code runs, the value of Move Spaces will be used in the Move block, whatever value that may be. If the value is 5, the ball will move 5 steps. If the value is 2, the ball will move 2 steps. Let's drag and drop the Move Spaces value block into the other Move blocks, and then we'll see how our program runs. As you can see, the ball is moving far more slowly, since the value of Move Spaces is 5. Let's stop our program and try changing the value of Move Spaces, say to 20. Now when we run our program, the value of 20 will be used in all the Move blocks. As you can see, the ball is now moving far more quickly. Variables allow us to use the same value at many different points in our program, but we only have to store it once. This makes it very easy to make changes to a value without having to rewrite lots of pieces of code.